Hey guys, good morning. It's BATJAC J.W. And wow, I can't believe that Christmas, I can't believe Christmas is already in motion. Everybody, the shopping, everything has been going crazy. Um, a little interesting things, update a little bit for me, and my message to you, I guess. Hopefully you guys are not sick. Um, I had recently, I'm actually just still trying to recover in a sense. I almost was not sure if I was going to be able to even do this video for you. Was definitely down sick, pretty darn good. I never really have been that sick before. And I must say, this time around was pretty bad. Really high fever, and it was just not good. I wasn't sure, like I said, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to do this video for you guys. And so still just trying to rest up and kind of recover from that. It was definitely not fun, not a fun time being sick. And then, of course, out here being a little colder now, my favorite time, and it was working against me, right? So got my coffee out and everything. We got some table full of fun. Those of you that have been kind of keeping up with the channel and everything, we've been doing a lot of cool stuff. I'm talking about this baby right here, that new Inland, and its work in progress, and just kind of tinkering around with that. This is really the whole package deal that I got going. If you guys saw the video I did called the perfect replica, or the best replica, would it be? So, question mark. That question, I talked about it. I said, I've yet to begin to see a company that made a perfect or identical replica of the war guns that we all know and love, the World War II era 1911s. If you're a 1911 fanatic, those are kind of the ones that you like me. I'm kind of that 1911 guy. So a lot of people say, well, why don't you just get a real one, from that time period? And I do. I have one. They're expensive. They're not cheap. And that's kind of like, why is that a thing? Why, like, there's so many of those things produced during the war times, and yet, there's the people. I go to gun shows, and I go to gun shops, and I see them, and I see price tags of upwards of near $2,000, especially for certain ones. They people wanting like over $2,000. We're approaching $3,000, and I think it's just ridiculous. It's just. I'm hoping that the CMP, when they release theirs or they get theirs and they're available for all of us, I'm hoping that changes a lot of things, and I hope that changes the price dramatically. I am one of those guys that are just praying that's what's going to happen, and we're going to get a whole market full of them, and they're going to be everywhere, and you're going to be able to pick one up. And don't just, the other thing I wanted to touch on in that, and I have been talking about it, my hopes are, sorry, there's like a fly running around here. I'll have to cover my coffee. One of the things I've been hoping, I'm one of those guys hoping for that, to drop those prices. And don't worry about, like, because I thought about that, well, if you're not a CM, if you're not a member, or how do you get on that list and all that stuff. What I'm hoping will happen is that there will be so many of these things floating around out there eventually, when the CMP and the people that do have access to the CMP right away or whatever to buy their stuff, eventually the market will be flooded with these things, and there will be just so many of them out there that they will have to be sold for less than what they're obviously selling for now. That is my hope, and so that these prices where you go to these shops or these people that have them, and that they will hopefully come back to earth with their prices, or they can just hang on to the ones they had and and sit on it. But I think for us, the gun enthusiasts, the gun collectors, You know, the people that love the 1911, what it stands for and everything, and we deserve to have them. We deserve to have them at a decent price and put them in our collections and admire them. And, you know, if the CMP is going to be releasing them and having them out there, definitely, you know, I think it'll also take prices for stuff like this inland. Okay. These inlands are not cheap. They're running at right off their website. It's like $779 or something for the reproduction pistol, and I'm hoping that, you know, if the CMP, like I said, will open these, you know, the real ones up and allow everybody to buy them for a low price, you know, even that will. Well, why would somebody spend almost $800 for a reproduction when they can spend less and get an authentic one? You know, I think that hopefully that will, you know, counteract a lot of this stuff that, you know, is going on. And I'm one of those guys that, you know, yes, I'm a gun collector and all that and whatnot, but also, like, you know, sometimes the prices are just getting stupid. They're just getting outrageous. And I just kind of shake my head and I go, whoa, what's going on here? You know, I mean, it's getting to the point where some of these guns, I mean, it could cost a down payment on a good car, or as much as a good car, you know, or something. It's just crazy. So, all right, well, almost out of coffee. Wow. So, oh, and anyway, got some other cool stuff there. I don't know if you can see that. Hey, was that Christmas bullets? I don't know. Yeah, you also been noticed by you guys by request. I did reopen up another Facebook page for the BATJAC J.W channel, geared for the channel itself. So check that out. I'll put a link in the description and get that rolling. It is a whole new channel than the last one that I had, because I just couldn't have access to it, and I just, like, it got overwhelming and I couldn't keep up with it. But by a lot of requests from you, and as the channel's beginning to grow a little bit more, so I reopened up another one and kind of, you know, revamped it a little bit differently, and just trying to keep going with that. So, and we'll see what the future holds for me, as there's you know, out here it's just it's been hard, it's been difficult, and we'll see, you know, how things shake out. So anyway, I was actually, if you guys could remember from the last JW's radio, I was going to try to actually put out a small, like, part 2 bit for you guys, because I had an idea that I wanted to share with you and give back to you guys, because I think, you know, to me, you guys are very important. The subscribers, the people that are here supporting the channel, watching the videos, you guys mean the most to me. You're the reason we do this. I do this. I turn on the camera. I go out and film stuff. I try to look for different items that I can get on camera and show you guys and talk about. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting. This here, being it was Christmas, I figured, well, why not? I brought out what I thought is the, I guess you could say, in a sense, my Christmas story rifle for this year. These are so cool. This is the Rossi 62. It's a copy of the old Winchester pump action 22 rifle. These things are awesome. This is the second one I own. I do own one. It's a longer barrel. This is the carbine model. I think it's like a 16-inch barrel. This is really, ultimately, like, this size right here is really cool to have, because it's so compact, and it reminds me of a little shotgun or something. Excuse me. But, you know, just the kid in the Christmas Story, you know, he wants the Red Ryder pellet rifle. Shoot your eye out with that thing. Look at that. Let's put it in view. Get it in view there. You'll shoot your eye out with that thing, he says. I was one of those fortunate kids that I had a Red Ryder BB gun growing up, so that, you know, but this thing is really neat. I remember when I was first searching out for one of these things, a good friend of mine, that taught me a lot about the guns, and I met him there when I really was cutting my teeth into working in the industry of guns or gun shops. Not really the industry, I guess. Well, I guess maybe it is or maybe it isn't. But working in the gun shops. A good friend of mine, that he's the one that told me about him, and he said, that's you gotta look and get a Rossi 62. That's exactly what he told me, and I set out to try to get him, and the weird thing about the Rossi 62 is it's not like this super like expensive gun, but they're not easy to find. At least that's the way it feels like to me. They're not easy to find, and so they're not terribly expensive when you find them. So that's usually why, that's why I bought this one so quickly. When I saw it, and I saw it was a carbine model, and then the fella, the guy gave me a good price on it too. They're not easy to find, and I think the reason for that is most people hang on to them. They don't want to get rid of them, and when they do realize that if you do want to sell one, you're not going to get very much for it. In fact, what you're going to get for them, you might as well hang on to it, because it's worth more just hanging on to it. And I think that's what happens with these things. And I definitely feel like I'm in that boat, because they're such a cool rifle. When you actually take them out and start shooting them, you realize right away, for me, it was like, how did I ever have a collection without one? So, check out, I guess those of you that have been following me on Patreon, I guess you should be able to have access to what this is all about right here, these funny red bullets. And those of you that saw it on Facebook saw a picture of this. So that's on Patreon. Those of you that follow me on Patreon, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. You guys saw some bit of the extras and other videos that haven't quite published here yet, or that are completely different than what I would publish here. So, and getting ready to gear up. Those of you, again, that are following me on Patreon, I'm going to be doing some other videos that are a little bit more geared to something else. I guess, a little bit more deeper thoughts, opinions on certain things that I feel that I've encountered out here and whatnot. So, okay, so as set my coffee down since it's empty. As I was talking about in the last show, and I was going over some stuff, and I said, I had this idea and everything. I wanted everybody to mention copper in their comments, and a lot of you did. That was really cool to see that so many of you made it that far in that video and did all that. So, now, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is all I've got for you, because in the future, as this thing goes along, I want to make sure that there's a good handful of you that get a chance to get one. I just got to, get there and get them going and get them made for you. All right? And what I have is, I was going to send this to you. All right? Little, I guess in a sense, postcard. I'm going to sign each one of them as I sign this one. So those of you that put copper down or whatever, or if you want one, let me know in the comments below that you do want one. I believe that most of you that mentioned copper in your comments, you do want one. Right now I have 5 of them here. I do have more that I can get made, so basically I'll get them sent out. Ironically, I never realized how much stamps cost. I will have to say this right now. It has to be within the U.S. I'm sorry. I know that I got a lot. I know I got a handful of you guys that are outside the U.S. It's just right now financially, I got to limit this to what I got available finances to get these things out for you. I do apologize. In the future, when things pick up, I will try to open these things up and get more. So don't think that this is going to be the last of it or anything like that. There will be more. I will definitely get more of these things as the radio show, and it'll be on this radio show. This is the only place I'm gonna do this and advertise them and give them out to you guys, and they're free. I'm not charging you anything for them or anything like that. I just want to give back to you guys. So a little something from the channel and me, and again, like I said, I'm just hand signing each one of them for you and everything like that. So I got 5 of them here. I'll have to do a drawing of 5 or whatever to do so. So let me know there in the comments. I know that a lot of you have put down copper, but let me know if you want one of these. Just say, yeah, you'd like a chance to in the drawing for the signed autographed picture here. And again, I'll draw them. And don't, like I said, don't think if you don't win this time or you don't get in on this time, that's it. I'm going to be, the next time we do this, I'll have more of them. And as time progresses, I want to make sure that there's a good handful of you guys that get your hands on one. And as a big thank you from me to you, I know it's not much, but I want to give back to you guys as much as I can. When I can. So for supporting the channel and always keeping it going, because without you guys and without the numbers that keep growing, really I probably would have shut the channel down quite a while ago. But you guys keep watching, you keep coming back, you keep the channel afloat, so that's really awesome. It's really cool that you guys keep doing it. Because YouTube, I wanted to say this about it. There's been a lot of backlash talk about YouTube and all of its, just out of the blue, it just start crashing, and doing all kinds of funky stuff. It's not. Yes, they have been. I'm not going to say they haven't been targeting channels like mine and anybody doing firearm related stuff. I'm not going to say they haven't been, because they have. They've set out, their, they, either demonetize our videos or whatnot or whatever. Like the unfortunate events of, what they did with taking down the YouTuber James Eager. Now, it's not, like I said, I touched on this on the last video. It's not about, to me, it's not about James Eager. It's the fact that they took down a channel. They took away a channel in general of freedom of speech. That they said, well, okay, now you've gotten these many strikes against you, whatever. So it's regardless if you like Eager or not, or if you watch him. I've watched some of his content. It's not like something I watch, but regardless, I think what we need to stand for is the fact that they've actually removed somebody's channel, on account of that. As far as being attacked by, demonetization and all that, it's not just gun channels, it's everybody. It's been, getting nailed with that. But so, on the other note, I want to say this, YouTube, for me, it's amazing because growing up, I really always loved filming and doing stuff with film and all that entertainment kind of thing. And, I always thought that it's really neat, because what you capture on video, and this always going back for me to high school, when you photograph something, I took photography in high school. It's one of my favorite classes. When you take a picture of something or whatever, you've captured a moment in time. You've either, it's like, for instance, a great example, John Wayne. John Wayne is near and dear to me. I love John Wayne. He's one of my favorite actors. He's just, his movies are amazing. Even though John Wayne is gone, and he was gone long before my time, I can always go back and film and relive him bigger than life than he could ever be, right there on my TV screen or right there on that screen, and there he is. And that's the beauty of filming, picture taking, photos like this. It's a time capsule. It's you've frozen time. You've captured something. You've captured a memory. You've captured something that's amazing. And it also allows, what I think of for YouTube, it's so amazing because, and I mean, yes, people use it for bad things as well. But I mean, I'm looking at the good side of it. YouTube opened up an avenue for a lot of people to that maybe were really funny people or had some talent or something that they invented, or they could be creative and creative an outlook or an outlet, for people to do. Um, they were sitting at home, they don't have nothing to do, but all of a sudden YouTube comes along and hey, like becomes something like for me, like it becomes something it's a part of my life. It's changed my life making videos for you guys. So it opened up a lot of talented things. There's a lot of channels that I watch that are just not even gun channels. They're just like either life vloggers or whatnot, and just funny stuff that I thought was just really, it's entertaining. And it's kind of interesting, think about that concept. Well, these people would have, not necessarily, probably would have not gotten into Hollywood or something like that, or done anything like that, if it, or gotten known if it wasn't for YouTube. So if YouTube wasn't there, I wouldn't have been able to know about them or laugh at them, So, and anyway, and there's a lot of those channels that have provided me a lot of laughter, and a lot of things like that. And one of the sad events was one of the channels that I do watch, and I know, again, this is completely not related to guns or anything like that, but one of my favorite channels was the Angry Grandpa Show. It was done by Charles Green. Really funny stuff. It's kind of it's really crude, rude humor, but he's basically the name should say it all. I mean, some of you probably know of it, but he had passed away on December 10th, and that was just really sad for me to hear that he had passed away, because I've been watching his channel for a few years now. And I remember when I first discovered him, I mean, I never laughed so hard in my life. And again, like I say, you got to live, you got to laugh, because life is short. Well, that man made me laugh a lot. Always watching his channel. His stuff is still funny. And, so it's amazing, and that's, on the positive note on YouTube and everything, it's like, YouTube brought out a lot of people like that, and a lot of talent, and a lot of entertaining stuff that, who knows, without YouTube or some sort of network like that, where, maybe we wouldn't have been privileged to experience stuff like that. So I find myself watching YouTube more than I watch TV because it's so interesting what you can come across, and it's amazing. So, and I've been enjoying what I've been doing here on the channel, and I'm glad you guys are still sticking with me and watching my content. So I appreciate it. I really do. So I'm gonna get out of here and let you guys enjoy your weekend here. And so Merry Christmas. Let me know again. I got 5 of them here. I'll do a five hat drawing. You will have to send me a PM me when I do draw you out. Where to send it, where would you like me to send it. I'm just gonna have to put a stamp on it and put it in the mailbox. So, and again, I will have more of them, so don't worry. I will be able to get more of them to you. I want to get my goal is to basically try to get one in the hands of everybody that really wants one. So that's what I want to try to do for you all. So, all right. So thanks for watching, you guys. I'm BATJAC J.W. Like, share, and subscribe. And again, really, I thank you for being here, and your subscribers, you guys, you who makes this work. Without you, I wouldn't be doing it. So thank you.